Hi guys, and welcome back to Macaroon. This video is going to be a compilation of weird hacks and DIYs, most of which I saw on TikTok, BuzzFeed, or 5-Minute Crafts.
I'm sure most of you have seen these random DIY clips on social media, and most of them are obviously just for entertainment. However, over the years, I've seen some ideas which could actually work, and I decided to test them out for this video. These are great for filling up time if you're bored, and if you want to see more quick DIYs like this, then be sure to follow me on TikTok under my username Macaroon. So the first thing we're going to make is cloud bread. This is super viral right now, and it's surprisingly easy to make using just 3 ingredients. First, separate 3 egg whites from the yolks, and then measure out 2.5 tablespoons of sugar and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Place the egg whites in a clean dry bowl and start beating them until fluffy. Add the sugar and cornstarch about halfway through and keep on beating it until it forms stiff peaks. You'll know it's ready when you can turn the bowl upside down and the egg mixture stays inside, but obviously do this step carefully just in case. Next, I'm going to add some food coloring, which of course is optional. I actually wanted a cute pastel blue, but I ended up adding far too much by accident, so I'd recommend dabbing on the food coloring using a toothpick. Now take a non-stick baking sheet and form your cloud bread into any shape you want. I like the fact that this mixture is so thick that you don't even need a baking form, and I'd love to try some variations using different designs. Then place it inside a preheated oven and bake for 30 minutes at 150 degrees Celsius or 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So I just want to show you guys what happened when I took it out after about 20 minutes. The surface felt a bit sticky and it started shrinking as soon as it came out of the oven. So I quickly put it back and cooked it until it looked more toasted on the outside like this. The final piece still shrank a bit, but I was still very impressed by my first attempt. Cloud bread looks so satisfying when you break it apart, and the texture inside is incredibly soft and fluffy. To my biggest surprise, this actually tasted very good. I was expecting this to taste strange and eggy, which I've read in several comments on TikTok, but it was actually very mild. It's not overly sweet either, so I think it would make a good base with savory foods as well. Next, we're going to make some easy origami. Paper Mario is one of my favorite games ever, and I've actually played every single one in the series. The newest game, of course, is Origami King for Nintendo Switch, and I was really happy to receive this set of origami paper from Nintendo Germany. I believe you can get this as a promotional item with the game in several countries, or purchase it directly from the Nintendo shop in Japan. It comes with detailed instructions on how to make different characters, and this tutorial for Princess Peach looks pretty crazy. This box here is very useful, and it teaches you the different names for origami folds. I'm going to stay with the simpler design, so this video doesn't last forever. However, I do plan to make Peach for TikTok, so please follow me there if you want to see how it turns out. First, I'm folding the super mushroom along the guidelines to create this rough triangular shape. Then you have to make several creases in the middle, which is a bit tricky because the lines are very close together. This lets you make an inside reverse fold, which creates the mushroom shape. Now I'm going to tuck in all the edges and the super mushroom is done. Next, we're going to fold a superstar, and you can easily make both of these DIYs using plain paper and just draw on the eyes afterwards. First, fold all the edges inside like this to create a triangle. Then push one corner flat so it creates 2 arms of the star. The next part is slightly tricky because you have to crease the paper back and forth so you can create a pleat fold which creates the 3rd arm. If you're using plain paper without guidelines, then you have to use a bit of trial and error to find the right angle for this. Then repeat the process on the other side to complete the superstar. The next DIY is a recipe for tiny ice cream dots. I saw this one on a BuzzFeed video and I've always wanted to try it out. All you need is some Greek yogurt, sugar, and food coloring. Mine is plain yogurt, so I'm going to start by adding a bit of sugar, but feel free to skip this step. Then grab a food-safe plastic bag and add 2 spoonfuls inside. Use some food coloring if you want, and then squish everything together. Now cut a very tiny hole in the corner of the bag. This is the trick to making nice dots, so try to make this as small as possible, about 1 millimeter in width. Line a baking dish with parchment paper and start making dots. This part is very relaxing but surprisingly time-consuming, so it's a great recipe to do if you're bored at home and need to kill some time. In the original video, they tell you to do this on a baking tray and stick it in the freezer, which always amuses me because if you live in Europe, you'll know that there's absolutely no way any freezer is big enough to fit a baking tray. I find baking dishes or flat plates are just about doable, so be sure to check that there's enough space inside before you start the recipe. These dots are tiny, so they should be fully frozen in just a few hours. However, they also melt quickly, so you have to be careful when transferring them into a container. As soon as you notice the dots melting, place everything back in the freezer for a few minutes. And now you've got your own dipping dots ice cream. So this is a variation that I make far more often, which I learned from my favorite fashion blogger, Jean Wang. I simply mix pureed strawberries with Greek yogurt and I pipe larger circles, which takes a lot less time. This is Isabel's favorite thing to eat, and I think it helps her with teething.
This next DIY is really simple to do, and it's something that went around TikTok in the beginning of this year. When I first saw it, I thought it had to be fake because it just looks so strange, but I tried it out and it actually works. All you need for this is a towel and micellar cleaning water, and I'm pretty sure that any brand works. So I'm putting a bit of the micellar water onto the towel, and then you take that spot and you blow through it. Oh. I mean, I honestly don't know what you can use this for. I guess maybe if you prefer cleaning your face with bubbles, you can use this instead of the water directly. But I just think it's loads of fun. It's just one of these weird things where you don't imagine it works, but it does. And it's so easy to do. I'm also curious to know if this works with any type of soap water. So here I've just got some water. I mean, this is hand soap, and I'm just adding about 3 pumps. Just gonna do this. Now I'm just gonna dip the towel inside, make it small, a bit wet, and see if this works. It turns out that this hack actually works with any type of soapy water, but if you want the really impressive results, then you should use this type of micellar cleaning water.
This next DIY was originally supposed to be for nail stickers. You'll need a non-stick base such as silicone or baking paper. Simply apply some PVA glue on top and decorate it however you like. If you spread it very thinly, then you can peel off the final piece and trim it using scissors to fit your nails. However, I decided to use thicker blobs and just added some glitter or food coloring on top. Part of the fun here is just experimenting and using up any leftover craft supplies that you have lying around. Some of these will always turn out better than others, and that makes this project all the more exciting. If you cover this entire sheet, then you'll end up with some really nice designs that you can use for notebooks, room decor, or jewelry. So now let's make some bracelets using face masks. This isn't technically a viral DIY, but I promised more mask hacks from my last video, so I decided I might as well put these here. Start with a clean face mask and cut off the elastic right by the base. Then you'll need a paintbrush or makeup brush with a handle that's roughly this thick. Take a tiny blob of air dry clay, and you can also use one of my DIY recipes if you don't have any at home. Form it into a ball and gently push the brush handle through to make a bead. Then add 2 ears depending on what type of animal you want to make and leave it to dry. If you want to make a grey color for DIY, then always add a tiny bit of yellow and red as well. This gives it a warmer undertone, which is almost always more flattering. Once these beads are dry, use a thin marker to draw on facial features. Then thread it onto the elastic and tie a knot as close to the ends as you can. The elastic doesn't look very long, but it's incredibly stretchy, so it should definitely be able to fit around your wrist. Next, we have a different bracelet using packing peanuts. These cute rainbow ones actually come with Sophie and Toffee orders, and I saved them up just in case I ever wanted to use them for a DIY. Just like before, trim away the elastic from a new face mask and cut a slit in the side so you can remove the nose wire. Fold the wire in half and use it as a needle to thread the foam peanuts onto the elastic. Keep an eye on the open end so the peanuts don't slide off by accident. Then simply tie it all into a loop and you have a cheap and easy rainbow bangle. If you want to make it slightly more waterproof, then you can paint the peanuts using clear or glitter nail polish. This DIY is based on a viral TikTok from the user Geneva Vandertaal. It's an easy way to upcycle glass containers, and you simply need baking soda and acrylic paint. So this is a glass bottle of rubbing alcohol that I found in our bathroom, and it's so ugly that I was about to throw it away. However, I decided to try this hack to see if I could create an aesthetic ombre effect. Mix some baking soda into the paint and apply this all over. The baking soda creates a sandy matte effect that looks a lot more elegant. I was very pleased with the result, but I realized that this paint is a bit hard to blend. So making a gradient is slightly harder than expected, but this hack works perfectly if you just stick with one color. I'm pretty sure this also works on plastic or wood, so you can refresh any containers or ornaments that you have lying around. The second last tutorial is inspired by the strawberry animal trend on TikTok, where you simply make an animal combined with a strawberry. It was originally based on a song called Strawberry Cow, but now there are variations for all types of animals. This is the perfect opportunity to use this tiny strawberry, which I got from a mystery DIY box many years ago. I love these random TikTok challenges because they give you so much room for creativity. I've seen people make strawberry animals using slime, clay, paintings, and all sorts of other things. You can also use some paint to just add faces to random objects. This is probably one of the easiest DIYs possible, but it helps you a lot with creative thinking. So the final tutorial is based on another Paper Mario origami sheet, which I somehow managed to mess up. You're supposed to make a blow-up coin block, but this took me more attempts than I'd like to admit, so I decided to go back and just redo everything using normal origami paper so you can follow the steps easily. I think I got this set of iridescent paper from Japan Center London, but you can definitely buy similar ones on Etsy as well. Start by folding it in half and then open up one side and press it flat like this. Now take one of the corners and fold it backwards, which is called a mountain fold. Then make another mountain fold using the side flap and tuck the top corner of the triangle inside. This DIY is a lot like the puff ball I made for this video, but hiding the flaps makes it look much neater. Once you've done this on both sides, just blow through the top to puff it up. A cool idea is to make a lot of these and then use a needle to string them up into a garland. I hope you enjoyed all of these DIYs, and be sure to subscribe to Macaroon and Cute Life Hacks for more. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok under my username Macaroon. I'm Joanna, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!